Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You're listening to the Information Man Show. You have to listen to this because I'm about to put it in perspective for everybody tonight. I'm about to analyze and assess this whole situation unlike anyone will expect it. I'm not going to talk about the usual that most folks on YouTube streets are expecting me to, but I'm going to give you a perspective that'll stay in your mind. But I first need you to listen to this.
Here to represent Mike Flynn, Donald Trump, looking right here, baby. Look at her, take that mask off. Take that motherfucking mask off. Right here, represent. Represent. Looking right here, the Punisher. Represent. Steve Bannon is coming. We're going on offense. We're going on fucking offense. We're going on offense. Hey, Kyle Rittenhouse is a fucking patriot. Kyle Rittenhouse is a fucking patriot. Yeah, you freeloaders. Stand up, motherfucker. Fuck yeah. Come on. Come on. Get back. Get your ass back. Get your back. Get your ass back. Come on. Come on. You all are cowards. You all are cowards. Get your ass back. Get your black ass back. Yeah. 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 I will stand down. God will come down. Back your ass up. Back your ass up. Yeah. I come in peace, but I'll send your ass home in pieces. I swear to God.
All right. What you have just heard there, ladies and gentlemen, is that one of the protests at the hearing, the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse down there in Kenosha. You had, you had the Colt 45, the Trump supporters, things of that nature out there. Of course, you had Brother Blake's father out there. Young man, black man, shot in the back 7 times. His father was out there. You had members of Black Lives Matter. We already know, ladies and gentlemen, that Black Lives Matter has been infiltrated in so many damn ways. It ain't even funny. But for the purpose of this video tonight and telling the truth.
Tell the truth.
I just got to tell it like it is. But you had factions out there protesting, those that were against Kyle Rittenhouse and those that were for Kyle Rittenhouse. Let me show you this real quick right here. As you notice on the picture that I had right there, it says Kyle Rittenhouse, American hero. Proud of you, boy. Okay. And that's just the way it is on this planet we call Earth. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started tonight. The Information Man Show. I thank everybody who's shown up tonight. I appreciate it. The information man. I'm gonna tell it to you like it is. I'm gonna tell it to you like it is, everybody. No holds barred. No holds barred. No holds barred. Tell the truth. No holds barred.
Tell the truth.
The information man. The Information Man Show. I thank you all, folks, for being here tonight. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the program tonight. All gloves are off tonight because I'm about to break this down. I'm not going to say the usual things that people are expecting me to say about this whole situation. To everybody out there on the YouTube street, listen, take some goddamn notes. I'm not playing with you. Now, the usual thing is that, okay, Info Man is going to set up here. He's going to talk about the white supremacy and Kyle got away with shooting those 3 white people. No, I'm not. That was white on white crime.
Tell the truth.
So I'm not going to get into this. Well, he shouldn't have. He's been acquitted in a court of law. We know that he had no business out there with a weapon. I'm going to get into that area too. We know, as I put these pictures up on here for you to see. Let me just throw this up here right quick, right now. No playing around, no hose bar. I want to really get into it. These 3 men who 2 were killed and the 2 on the right side were killed and 1 survived. And we know that all 3 of them, all 3 of these white cats have shady, and I do mean shady, background. If I'm going to tell it, I got to tell the truth. All 3 of them have a shady background. So I'm not sitting up here like some preacher eating a pig skin sandwich or pig's feet sandwich talking about, he had no business killing them white. All 3 of them had despicable backgrounds. I believe one of them, if it wasn't Rosenbaum, I'm not sure. Those in the chat room, let it be known, one of them had mental health issues. One of them, if not both of them, or one of them, had touched a underage minor. And I know there are people that supported Kyle Rittenhouse said, good riddance with them because Kyle, he did a good job for us. So I'm not up here tonight trying to justify any damn thing because the characters involved were flawed, had problems, had issues, and Kyle did what he did according to the law in Wisconsin that said he had the right to do what he did. I'm not here to do a eulogize the 3 men or the 2 men who died, 1 injured. I'm here to make a comparison and contrast, ladies and gentlemen. Just hear me out, folks. I know people are in the chat room. I am going to shout people out when I have an opportunity, but I want to stay focused on this particular point that I'm trying to make. I'm going to do a compare and contrast. You see, in America, we see white as superior and black as inferior. And as a manifestation of that cultural conditioning, we will underestimate, undervalue, and marginalize black people, while at the same time putting white people on a pedestal, pedestalizing them, and downplaying ourselves. Now, at the end of the day, Kyle Rittenhouse, whether we like it or not, he was acquitted of all 5 charges. But see, the reason deeply why he was acquitted of these 5 charges is because we have a political system and we have a legal system that has always worked in the favor of white society. White boys and white men have always benefited from the legal system, whether they took the life of black men or white men. Now, however, when white men take the life, and I looked at the statistics on this, when white men take the life of black men, they are hardly ever brought to real justice, meaning they don't get no heavy time when they take our life. There's very little value to black life in this society the way it's viewed. When white boys engage in violent behavior or they run around with a gun, whether legal or not, they are seen as heroic. They are seen as heroes. They're a boy, Kyle. They're a boy, right? They are seen as heroic, as I said before. So the image of the white dude, as you can see, Kyle was crying in the courtroom. Some of us called it crocodile tears. But what they did to Kyle Rittenhouse is they prettied him up, ladies and gentlemen. They made him look acceptable, right? You can tell they cut his hair real short. They put him in that Sears and robot suit he was wearing. They had to make him look like the little boy that they always said that he was and that they viewed him as. When you look at the picture of what a Boy Scout looks like in American society, go Google it right now. The Boy Scouts. I remember this growing up. When you picture what a Boy Scout looked like, they always showed a young white boy, just like Kyle Rittenhouse. Same haircut and every damn thing. Now, Kyle is given the benefit of the doubt because we were told he had a legalized gun. He had the right to have that gun. Oh, they couldn't charge him with the misdemeanor because it didn't have some type of, at the end of the barrel, it was shorter than necessary. It was shorter than so he didn't violate anything. Well, we're going to look at that. Kyle cried in that courtroom. He shivered. He shivered. He didn't do none of that crying that night that he said people were chasing after him and he had to defend himself. Now, should a man be able to bear arms? Yes. But then again, Kyle wasn't a man. He was a minor. However, this is how it works, ladies and gentlemen. When white boys get themselves in trouble, they are aged down.
Tell the truth.
When black young men or minors are being preyed upon, they are aged up and their image is dirtied up. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
You got Trayvon Martin before you. Everybody bear with me. I'm going to call people out in the chat, but I got to stay focused on what I'm talking about now because I'm trying to make a point here. Trayvon Martin he was at his father's house. I think his father was living with his girlfriend. Interesting. He went for some snacks at a convenience store the night of an all-star game those many years ago, minding his own damn business.
Tell the truth.
He said to his girlfriend on the phone, I got this strange dude. I got a strange dude following me. I got this strange dude following me, and I got to do something. Zinnerman had a gun. Trayvon Martin had no gun. Trayvon Martin did what he could do to protect himself. So he got the best of Zinnerman, who's still, by the way, walking around, bragging about what he did to Trayvon Martin, bragging about it, selling the gun in auction, and nothing has happened to.
Tell the truth.
Zinnerman. But Trayvon Martin was killed and shot with a gun. And I know they got stand your own ground laws in Florida, but they don't have, and I looked this up, ladies and gentlemen, they don't have stand your own ground laws in Wisconsin, but what they do have is that you have the right to bear arms and protect yourself with your arms if you being impacted by someone trying to harm you. That's where they gave Kyle Rittenhouse that privilege, ladies and gentlemen.
Tell the truth.
He got the benefit of the privileged doubt, the white privilege, we call it. You see, Trayvon Martin didn't get any American privilege. The law didn't work in his case because he was shot dead by Mark Zinnerman, who had a gun when he had no gun. So Mark Zinnerman brought a gun to a fist fight. Kyle Rittenhouse brought a gun into Kenosha, whether he was legally able to have that gun or not. The fact of the matter is he brought a gun into Kenosha at 16 or 17 years old. And the truth of the matter, and I don't care what anybody thinks about it off of YouTube or on YouTube, he had no goddamn business out there in the first place. But Trayvon Martin had every goddamn business to be out on the streets to buy his snacks and trying to get home. He was killed. Kyle Rittenhouse, he went into a hostile environment with a AR-15, which by nature is going to solicit some concern that it's going to solicit trouble. And I'm not saying that the people that were out there, these three idiots, or let me just say these three individuals, the white boys who chased him, who had the audacity to try to take his gun. I don't recommend anybody, if you got sense, you don't go up. If somebody's got a gun, you don't chase after them with the goal of taking the gun out of their hand, or you want to attempt to take the gun out of their hand. You don't do that. That just ain't common sense. Because chances are you're going to run into somebody like Kyle Rittenhouse, who's been bred up on the I'm going to take matters into my own hands. Now, he's been bred up in this shit. This is a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse with his weapon in hand. To the right side, this is white on white crime happening. And they don't never tell you about it, ladies and gentlemen. They tell you that the face of crime is black when it's no. White people, according to FBI statistics, engage in more crime overall, to totality, domestic crime, crime upon their own families, the misconduct towards children, the whole 9 yards, in comparison to black males, black society. I believe they're at 67%? 76%, somewhere in there, the FBI most recent crime statistics. You can look those up. They lead in this country in all total crime. Well, the reason why I've got this picture up here is because on the right side, Kyle Rittenhouse, they tried to make him like he was this majestic little innocent kid. He's been a troublemaker. In this picture, he got beat down. He got beat down because he assaulted a girl. He put his hands on a female. And in this picture, eventually, these dudes in the picture, I know it's kind of fuzzy picture, they had to beat Kyle down. So what I'm saying is that Kyle ain't no innocent dude. He has a history of getting himself in bullshit. Now, let me say this. Once again, here he is with this gun right here, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to say it again. I recognize the truth here that you don't walk up on nobody with no gun like that, with no assault type rifle. I'm not a rifle expert, but shit, I know enough to know that that's some dangerous stuff he's got in his hands. Why would you chase him down? Now, they did what they did. And Kyle Rittenhouse shot 2 dead and injured 1. And, you know, the media never called it white on white crime. I wonder why. If that had been a black young man out there that night with a assault rifle, AR-15, whatever the hell this shit is called, and he was walking around with a gun like that, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a vote right now. If it was a young black male out there that night with a weapon in hand, would he have been able to roam around the streets with a weapon like that, or even guard property as Kyle claimed he was guarding property? And we're gonna talk about that too tonight. Would Kyle Rittenhouse, if he was black, would he be able to roam around without the police arresting him, taking the gun away from him? Matter of fact, when Kyle shot the 2 individuals and shot 3 of them, killed 2, injured 1, he walked down the street, and according to the courts, he was trying to give himself up. But guess what? The police drove right past him like he did no wrong. Matter of fact, let me refresh your memory. That same night, Kyle Rittenhouse and his bandits of I'm going to protect property, his band of merry men, they said that, well, while they were out there, and I saw it on video. Matter of fact, I did a video on this. It's on my channel. It was about what happened to the young brother who got shot 7 times in the back. Brother Blake. Jacob Blake. The police witnessed these individuals along with Kyle Rittenhouse with their weapons roaming the streets or walking around patrolling the streets. And they said, "Thank you guys for being out here." And they gave them a bottle of water. Can you believe that? They gave them all a bottle of water and said, "Thank you for being out here." So therefore, as I said on the thumbnail, Kyle Rittenhouse, he has the privilege. He had the privilege that night that he was out there on the streets of Kenosha. Now, imagine if that was a group of black men or black young men with weapons like that, and you had a black Kyle Rittenhouse out there. What the police had given them, ladies and gentlemen, bottles of water, and would they not have had their guns taken away from them? And would Kyle Rittenhouse, if he was black, be able to just roam around there like he did in the first place? If you believe that if they were black or he was black, that it would not go in his favor like that, put a 1 in the chat room. If you believe that they would have been given the same type of privilege, put a 2. Put a 3 if you just don't know. Let's see what people are saying tonight. We've got Gloria Murray in the house. We got we here. Thank you for being here. Black Anonymous. We've got Key G. Roxanne 7897. We got Brother DOD in the house. Sneezy Girl in the house. Fashion for Life. We got Fab in the house. We got BX Beef 1 is in the house. Pro Woman is in the house. She says militias were working with the police. Come out in the trial. Police were in communication with them, coordinating stuff with the militia. Police pushed protesters into the militia. That is exactly right. That night they were coordinating, and you even had that group that you see on this picture with Kyle Rittenhouse, where they were talking about trying to push protesters towards the police, working in coordination with them and getting water bottles and water drinks for their efforts. Okay, we got King Wage in the house. Peace to you for being here. We've got Robert X. We got Bonnie Rose in the house. Good turnout tonight. We got NQ's World. What's going on, sister? Sherman is in the house. House of Entertainment. The House of X Entertainment's in the house. Golden Melanin, I love you. Yo, it's your boy Leo that's in the house. Lady T Speaks is in the house. We've got, who else? Unicorn Savage is in the house. Davis is in the house. Brown Girl has just come in the house shouting out the House of Entertainment. Okay, we got great people in that chat room tonight. We got Edit Again Media is in the house. We got Purple Paisley, who came in very early. Purple Paisley Planner is in the house. Sister Murray. Aries is in the house. So far, everybody is putting a 1 that if Kyle Rittenhouse was a black young male, or was a group of black young males out there with guns, they would have been confiscated. It would have been taken away from them. That's exactly the truth.
Tell the truth.
You see, in our country today, we have various gun rights groups or various people who say their guns are going to be taken away from them. And particularly white men, who often are the main ones talking about, we're going to get our guns taken away from us. We got to stop the government from taking our guns. The government has never taken the guns away from white people in America, but guns have been taken away from black people in America. Let's go all the way back to the Black Panther Party, shall we? Here we go.
Tell the truth.
You see, the Black Panther Party in 1967 in Sacramento, California, the capital of California, they were implementing their own rights. They were demonstrating their right to be able to bear their arms, because at that time in California, you could bear your arms as long as you didn't have a bullet in the chamber. They went up to Sacramento, California to demonstrate in front of the Capitol building. And the first thing that happened, ladies and gentlemen, is that the police who guard the Capitol took their guns from them to check and see if the bullets were in the chamber. And they found nothing, ladies and gentlemen.
Tell the truth.
They then gave the guns back to the Black Panther Party. And after a period of time of them being out there in the Capitol and demonstrating, the Black Panther Party members got in their cars and decided to head back to Oaktown, Oakland, California. When I say Oaktown, I'm talking about the town, baby. I'm talking about the truth.
Tell the truth.
While they were on their way driving back, before they got out of Sacramento, California, they stopped at a gas station to gas up the car, so on and so forth. This is a real story, ladies and gentlemen. Story that a lot of times people don't know this story. These details are not always told. So while they were getting gas and getting ready to head on back to Oaktown, the town, Oakland, California, The police followed them to this gas station area. And then what did they do? They took their guns from the Black Panther Party, who had every right to have their guns in arm, took them from them, even though the law said they had the right to have the gun, and they arrested the Black Panther Party because they were seen as a militant group and they were seen as dangerous. Although one of the things that people have forgotten is that, or don't understand, is that the Black Panther Party was not defunct or destroyed or infiltrated from J. Edgar Hoover, that piece of garbage. They were destroyed not because of their militancy, not because they wore black beret hats and leather jackets.
Tell the truth.
It was because of their food programs, their educational programs, and because they were protecting and guarding the community of Oakland, California. And
Tell the truth.
Because they had people that had medical backgrounds, nurses and doctors and people that were professionals within the Black Panther Party that were providing health care to the community and protection. So once they did that, they were infiltrating what? Public policy they had to be gotten rid of. That's the real reason why the Black Panther Party was infiltrated, not the militancy that they want you to believe. Long story short, they exercised their right in California, guns taken away and arrested. And who was the governor of California at that time? Good old Ronald Reagan.
Tell the truth.
Ronald Reagan and white folks in California went buck wild crazy because they couldn't handle black people in arms exercising their right. The same right that you hear white men today in the 21st century telling you over and over again, they're going to take our guns. No, they have not taken your guns away from you. The only people in America that can say that emphatically is the black man and woman who have had our guns taken away from us when we had legal right in California and throughout this land. So Ronald Reagan changed the laws in California to make it illegal to bear arms openly because white folks were scared of the boogeyman, what they deemed to be the boogeyman, the spooky stuff that they could not handle black people bearing their arms. White folks were scared out of their mind in California, so they changed the law. That's one example how black people had guns taken away from us when it was legal for us to have them. And you got white folks running around that look like this. Let me put this on the screen because this plays into Kyle Rittenhouse. This plays into why Kyle Rittenhouse, I don't even like saying his name, Rittenhouse, plays into why Kyle Rittenhouse was able to get off, because as a white man and as a white boy, the laws were designed for him, not for you, black man, black woman, and black child. This picture is from Michigan. Remember during the summer of 2020 or maybe 2019 when everybody was up in arms about wearing a mask and being on lockdown, you had all of these militias like these were the guys they came up to the state building in Michigan with their arms. They broke into the state building in Michigan. Nobody arrested them. Nobody shot them. They got up in the faces of the politicians, just like almost similar, not quite similar to January 6th, but they got into the chambers. They were in the balcony in the Michigan State Building chambers over the state assembly members, and a lot of them were frightened. They had bullets in the chamber. I want to thank Purple Paisley for that super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
I really do appreciate that. Robert X is in the house. Purple Paisley. Golden Melanin. We got Courtney. The SLP is in the house. Bonnie Rose. Check out Bonnie Rose's channel. Miss Jammin is in the house. Thank you for being here. Jerome Davis is in the house. He says, you notice how white Christian artists like Code Cameron don't confront white supremacists and racism against black people, yet he claims the Bible is against racism. If so, King Wage is in the house saying the double standard are unreal. The double standards, brothers, are reality because we live in this society. Now, what am I saying? Because what I'm trying to show you and what I'm trying to demonstrate is here you have 3 white men who were part of that militia in Michigan, who broke through those Michigan doors, got in the faces of police, screamed and yelled in the time of the virus, never were arrested, never were taken into any kind of custody, and they came there angry. You have the Black Panther Party exercise their right, although it was in the 1960s, a different time. We know that racism was at an all-time high, and black people were disfranchised at an all-time high. But because of what these jokers did on that day, this plays into the privilege that Kyle Rittenhouse got on that trial, in that trial. Because of what they did, there was a black woman who was a state senator within Michigan who felt fear for her life because of these 3 jokers, and not just these three jokers, but a whole bunch more that was with them that day. And what happened is she had to hire her own security to protect her. And what I want to do is what I want to say is that this is what people are afraid of. This is what people are afraid of. They don't want black people to arm themselves. Look at that. Oh. You see, white folks feel very comfortable when black folks are running around in fear, but they don't feel comfortable when black folks arm themselves with the same type of assault rifles or semi-automatic weapons under the law, exercising their right to due process under the law. People get very frightened. Imagine if you had a group of black people like this out there in Black Lives Matter protests with their weapons. What would society say? But it's all right for the good old boys.
Tell the truth.
It's all right for the good old boys to have their weapons. But if you're black, oh no, we can't have black people arming themselves under the under the amendment, Second Amendment rights. Oh no. Oh, we can't let them exercise their right to bear arms. The sister hired this group to protect her in her goings and comings into the state building in Michigan because of these jokers right here. And what I notice is when black people arm themselves under the law, white folks get all uncomfortable. The media, the Fox propaganda news channels get all uncomfortable. I bet you Donald Trump, Make America Great Again, would say, those is thugs, you got to get them out of here. Why is it that when black people exercise our rights, now we're the ones that's the thugs? We're the ones that if we have to go to trial, everybody will see us as a monster. Everyone will look at our background and say, well, this person has a criminal background. But we can't talk about Kyle Rittenhouse or any other white person who arms themselves under their Second Amendment right. But if black people arm themselves, now there's a problem because in America, we are culturally conditioned, as I said before, and that's why this country elected, and all these presidents on the Republican side and the Democrat side, they're all demons as far as I'm concerned. I don't care about either party. So for anybody out there to say, oh, you must be a Democrat, I don't care about the Democrats or the Republican clan. And you got to be a damn fool if you follow either one of them. But he said the dog whistle, which is why this plays into why Kyle Rittenhouse, the law will work for him without any failure. Because in America, the dog whistle is this, ladies and gentlemen.
We will make America great again.
When they say make America great again, you know the dog whistle, let's make America white again. Because the question is, when was America never great for white society? Kyle Rittenhouse was within his rights according to Wisconsin law, and the law worked for him. But we have black men and women, if we bear arms, we're shot dead, we're killed in the streets. Quan McDonald in Chicago was shot 16 times.
Tell the truth.
Unarmed. Walking down the street. Kyle Rittenhouse walked down the street in a riot circumstance. And the police didn't lay a finger on him that night. Anybody that tells you, ladies and gentlemen that are listening to the program tonight, that race has nothing to do with it, that if Kyle was black, that he would have got the same justice, you are a damn fool. Now, let me answer these questions for the naysayers tonight. The naysayers are going to say, hey, man, why are you doing a video about Kyle Rittenhouse? He shot, killed 2 white people, and he shot and injured 1 white person. Ain't got nothing to do with black people. I don't think the reason why black people were looking at this case and we were curious about it is not because we were necessarily caping for white society, or it's because we're looking at this to see how justice plays itself out when it's a white kid that does something like this versus what has happened to black people when we are armed and not even armed at all. We're looking at how justice is divvied out based on whether you've got the complexion for the protection. And that is the truth.
Tell the truth.
That's why black people were talking about this case. It ain't because, well, you know, why should we? We're looking at how the difference and how law works between how it works for young white males versus young black males, if you put them in the same situation. Now, let me tell you all something that I think is, I'm going to give you a story. I was in college, I had this experience, and they do this study in many colleges around this country, or they had in the past. I don't know what they're doing now. It's been a while since I've been in university. I was in a class, I think it was a psychology class, and they show you 2 photographs, right? So let me do it like this. So they show you a photograph of a young white male like Kyle Rittenhouse, where he's running down the street.
Tell the truth.
Then they show you a picture of a young black male running down the street.
Information is power.
We got Chris CC's in the house. We got Little Rock 2517 in the house. We got the realest RT in the house. Do me a favor, folks. if you have a cell phone and you're watching me on your cell phone right now, go to the area where it says share. Share this video in your Twitter right now, in your Facebook or whatever social media you have. Share it if you can, or share it whenever you're able to. If you are a content creator, share this in your community tab. This is a very important stream tonight.
Tell the truth.
George Makem Experience is in the house. That's my brother. He runs the Urban Nerds Worldwide. Urban Nerds Worldwide. Get over there and support George Makem's, what he's doing, the organization, everything about it. Let me put this on the screen just like so. You see that right there? George Makem is doing the real thing. Why is it that black men like George Makem is not celebrated? He's out there in Philadelphia working with the youth. You can see it on his YouTube channel. He displays it. He's talking to youth in the jail systems, the juvenile. He's trying to uplift and better his community, not just on YouTube, on panels, babbling with people who ain't prepared to do shit but talk about what they ain't gonna do. Why don't you go over to his website, the Urban Nerds Worldwide website? He has a nonprofit status. Why don't you go over there and give him a couple of bucks? You will get a tax write-off to support what the brother is doing. That is my brother right there. Clap to him. Urban Nerds Worldwide. Now, as I was saying, and I want to say peace to some chick named Star who's in the house, one of my mods, NQ's World, DOD, everybody who's come over and given this brother me support. I appreciate it. Here you have a young black male here, right? So when I was in class, the study had a young white male running down the street, just like Kyle Rittenhouse running around out there with his whipping that night. And then you have the young black child on the I think it was the video that they showed us, running down the street. And the professor says, and they've done this test in schools and around the, the professor says, what is your perception of the white boy? What do you think the white boy is doing while he's running down the street? What is your perception of the white kid while he's running down the street, while he's walking down the street? What do you believe he's up to? Right? And then they say, well, let's take a look at the black male or black males or black. Here you have black males up here. Let's look at the black young man that's running. What is your perception of what the black young male is doing in his running? And I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, here is the breaking news.
Information is power.
And the truth of it, ladies and gentlemen, is that most of the people in the class, particularly white people and black people in the class, let's keep it 100% buck here, perceive the picture of the black young man as running away from the police, running away from some type of trouble because he was either stealing something or he was up to no damn good. That's the perception. But the perception of the young white boy in the picture who was running, the perception of the young white boy, just like the perception of Kyle Rittenhouse as this innocent cry at any drop of a dime, The perception is that the white boy on the video is doing something heroic. He's trying to help someone. He's rushing to get home to help his family. He's rushing to catch the bus. He's rushing to do something that's helping humanity. That's the perception. Because, of course, the perception of young black males is that we're all thugs. We all are troublemakers. We are we all tote guns with us. We all have guns on us, even though Kyle Rittenhouse was the gun-toting individual that night. Even though Kyle Rittenhouse was the one toting guns. Or a gun. And so what happened, ladies and gentlemen, in the study is that the professor revealed what each individual really was doing. Come to find out, everybody in the class was wrong. The perception is that the black kid was up to no good, while the white kid was up to nothing but good. Well, come to find out, it was the black kid who was doing the heroic act. He was trying to help a lady who was losing control of her groceries. Her groceries fell out. So in the video, the black kid was trying to actually help someone. He was being the good and great Samaritan. So, you know,
Tell the truth.
he was being a good citizen. Excuse me there, folks. But in fact, it was the white kid. I put Kyle Rittenhouse up here for effect. It was the white boy in the video, a picture. I can't remember. It's been so many years ago when I was in that psychology class. It was the white boy who was the one who was running from the law. That's the truth.
Tell the truth.
And the professor said in the class that in America, we have a perception how we see different groups and different people. And there is certainly a perception how we see black males, black people, black children. And when black children come in contact with the law, when we look at black children, we age them. We say that, well, they got to be a grown man. But when white boys get themselves in trouble, and let's say they're 17, 16, or 18, all of a sudden an 18-year-old or a 17-year-old or a 20-year-old or a 25-year-old white boy like Kyle Rittenhouse, all of a sudden he turns into being a little boy. Leave it to Beaver, right? And the black kid is perceived as the troublemaker, the one that's up to no good. That's the cultural conditioning of American society. That is what we've been culturally conditioned to believe. That is the perception that people have based on television, movies, TV, news, all the perception that we're all animals, that we all are up to no good, and that we're engaging in criminal activity, and that Kyle Rittenhouse would be given the benefit of the doubt because after all, he's white and he's right and he says so and they say so. And in a country was built for him to have the privilege of his race, of his group, because those who so-called founded the country, those wig-wearing, slave-owning founders, as they say, they created a country with laws that reflect to the benefit of their people that looked just like them. Whereas they never thought in their wildest dreams that black people would be quote unquote free in this land that they would call milk and honey. And therefore we wonder why the laws don't work in our favor, because the laws were never written in our favor. And that's the truth.
Tell the truth.
In the trial, it was obvious that the judge was very biased. They didn't let in certain testimony. They didn't let in the fact that he should have been given at least a misdemeanor for having a gun, in which he wasn't supposed to have that gun. He wasn't supposed to be out there. Let me show you a law, because you got a lot of people bumping their guns on YouTube. And it is true. In Wisconsin, he could have a gun, but it had to be a certain barrel size. And within his privilege, he had the right barrel size. Now, there was all these stories about his mama drove him into Kenosha. That's not true. I'm just keeping it real with you. She didn't drive him in. Matter of fact, they said the mama was working that night. They say his father lives in Wisconsin. They say that Kyle had a job in Wisconsin. Okay? Did she give him the gun? No, his gun was being held for him at some friend's house, at somebody's house. So that's what they say. But let me take it here. Let me show you something real quick. And peace to everybody out there in the chat room. Thank you all for being here. Let me give you all a clap. Now, what I want to do, I'm going to take something off of here real quick. And do me a favor. Subscribe to the program, ladies and gentlemen. There it is right there. Hit the bell and notification if you can, because I would definitely appreciate that if you would definitely show the brother some love. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Share this video on your social media. Do it immediately if you can. We need more people to see this video, and I appreciate everybody out there. So what I want to do is I want to put this back up here like so. And then I'm going to roll on down here, put that back up there in that corner. And remember tonight, this is on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, live on YouTube tonight. We're broadcasting on Twitch right now, live. We're broadcasting on Facebook, into my Facebook page, live. We're broadcasting, where else are we broadcasting at? Twitch, Facebook, of course, YouTube. Somewhere else I'm probably broadcasting, don't even realize it, but it is what it is. Okay? So let me take a few things off of here, like so, because I want to show y'all something. This is the law in Wisconsin right here. So Kyle could have a assault rifle or some type of rifle that he had, an AR-15, but the barrel had to be a certain size. According to their laws out there, the judge did not want to take in the misdemeanor charges. They dropped those charges, but this is where they effed up. And this is where I feel that the judge was very biased. And the judge was way over his head in this case. You could tell he was an amateur judge in an amateur ass place.
Tell the truth.
Listen to this right here. It is legal for all adults, unless they are prohibited by possession of firearms, Wisconsin State Law 948602A. See, I didn't get this from no banana can. This is their law. Wisconsin State Law 948.602A states, any person under 18 years of age, and Kyle was under 18 years of age,
tell the truth,
who possesses or goes armed with a dangerous weapon is guilty of Class A misdemeanor. It is legal for all adults unless they are prohibited from possession of the firearm. One, Kyle Rittenhouse was not he was not an adult. So that's the first area. It is legal for all adults unless they are prohibited from possessing a firearm. Kyle Rittenhouse was not an adult. If Kyle Rittenhouse was not an adult that night, put a 1 in the chat room. What I'm doing tonight is I'm doing compare and contrast. If Kyle Rittenhouse was black, if it was black men going out there with their weapons, black men would not get the same treatment. We would not get the same treatment. If you think that we would not get the same treatment, put a 1 in the chat room. Wisconsin State Law 948.602A states any person under 18 years of age who possesses or goes armed with a dangerous weapon is guilty of a Class A misdemeanor. They threw it out. Oh, by the way, under their laws in Wisconsin, you're supposed to have parent supervision. So if you give an underage kid a weapon in Wisconsin, they're supposed to have it under the supervision of an adult, or at least their parents. Kyle Rittenhouse had no permission or supervision from his parent. Matter of fact, the mother is saying that she didn't even know that he drove into Kenosha. Or they said, wait a minute, they said he worked in Kenosha, so he was already there because he has a job in Kenosha, even though I believe he lied about being an EMT, saying that, oh, he was there helping people. But then it comes out in the wash that, if I'm not mistaken, ladies and gentlemen, correct me if I'm not wrong, he was not an EMT. So there's a lie there that he told. But, you know, in America, if you got the right, if you got the right complexion for the protection, you can tell what they call white lies.
Tell the truth.
And get away with it. So Kyle was already in town. The mother had no supervision. Nobody gave him supervision out there to have the gun. Now, maybe you could say, well, it was the guys that he was running around with. Maybe this guy right here that he was out there with, who was the adult, who I guess was his supervision. I don't know. But I do know this. Let me put this on the board right here for you all right there. Let me put that on the board, and let me do this right here, because we got so many great people in the chat room. We got DOD, we got Shaka in the house, we got the Restless RT in the house, Julius Dennis is in the house, Amy is in the house. What's going on, Amy? Good to see you over here tonight, and I hope all is well with your channel. Everybody check out the sister's channel. She does sports. Great sports channel. I'm glad to see you over here. We got Sister Lady Justice is in the house. Thank you for being here. Great sister. Sister Murray doing a great job as a mod. Everybody's doing a great job in there as mods in the house. Some chick named Star, one of my mods. George Makem is in the house. Chris CC, thank you for coming over and being a part of the family over here. We got Knapp in the house, Dennis in the house. We got Brother Zone in the house. Thank you for being here. Big L is in the house. What's up, Big L? Just lovely people in the house. King Wage, Black Anonymous, Kiki05 is in the house. Alice McGee is in the house. Thank you for being here. Everybody who is watching, I appreciate it. No matter how many people are listening or watching, I just appreciate those that are here, that are a part of the program tonight, and I appreciate that. Now, what I want to do is, you see up here, there was this notion in the trial, right, that Kyle had a reason to be there, that he was asked to guard this this car business, right? Well, right up here, it already came out in the wash in the trial. The family behind the Kenosha car dealership says that Kyle Rittenhouse was not asked to guard their property. Both the brothers, who father owned this business, never asked for Kyle to, the owners of the car source testified during the Kyle Rittenhouse trial at the Kenosha County courtroom on November the 5th, 2021 in Kenosha, Wisconsin, that they never asked Kyle Rittenhouse to come over there and protect their business. So the motive is that they were trying to paint this picture that Kyle was this good little boy, this good little citizen who was just trying to do a good deed because he was asked to help somebody out. But then we find out in court that that was not true. But like I said, if you got the right complexion for the protection, you got the benefit of the doubt that's given to you. Now, how many of you out there in the chat room, let's take another vote. How many of you in the chat room believe if Kyle Rittenhouse was a black boy, if it was a black young man out there, and he came out there with a whipping, with no adult supervision or no parents to say, hey, I'm supervising my son with this gun. The parents don't know whatever was going on. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Who knows what the damn truth is? How many of you in the chat room believe that a young black male, they would have dropped the misdemeanor on that young black male like they did Kyle Rittenhouse? If you believe so, put a 1 in the chat room. And if you don't believe so, you ain't got to put nothing. But I want to see how many people believe that if the tables were turned and this was a black young male in Kyle Rittenhouse's shoes, and there's been many young black males that's been in them shoes where we didn't get the benefit of the doubt of the damn law, would he, in turn, ladies and gentlemen, get the benefit of the damn doubt? I doubt it.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Now, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. This is difficult. Kyle Rittenhouse they said in the courtroom that he put his hands up with his weapon going towards the police, but they didn't arrest him, didn't take his weapon away, didn't do anything. Matter of fact, he was able to go back home that night. But then remember Michael Brown, hands up, don't shoot. Michael Brown had no weapon and the police shot him dead, supposedly because he took some cigarettes or cigars, filarellas or whatever the hell you call them. Supposedly he got shot over not having a weapon in his hand, but because someone at a convenience store may have and may have not said that he had stole some cigars. So a black young male gets killed and all witnesses said he had his hands up. Kyle Rittenhouse is walking down the street in a hostile situation out there that night with cops all over the place. The same cops that said, thank you for being out here, Kyle, and here's a bottle of water. But Michael Brown didn't receive a bottle of water. He received a bullet and he was killed by the cop and he had no weapon in hand. All the cop knew is that he supposedly robbed a store or took some filarellas or some damn cigarettes or whatever the hell he's smoking. But he's dead. Oh, let me remind you of another situation on the breaking news.
Information is power.
Orlando Castillo, remember him? He was in his car, I believe with his girlfriend, child, or significant other. He got stopped by a police officer in Minnesota, which is an open carry state. See, the law doesn't apply to us the way it can apply to other people, ladies and gentlemen. And he was stopped and he made it clear to the officer, as the officer was, I believe, asking for him to show ID. He said, well, wait a minute. First of all, officer, I want to let you know that I have a gun in the car and I have a license to carry the gun in an open carry state in Minnesota.
Tell the truth.
What happened to Orlando Castillo, ladies and gentlemen? Write it in the chat room if you like. Orlando Castillo was shot. He was killed by the police officer after telling the police officer, officer, I'm going to reach to get my ID for you. And officer, I want you to know I do have a weapon in the car, that I have a license to carry in an open carry state. that Orlando Castile and his family get the justice that was
Tell
necessary?
the truth.
Did Orlando Castile get the benefit of the doubt that Kyle Rittenhouse got that night? Kyle Rittenhouse got all benefits served to him. He got all benefit of the doubt. Did Orlando Castile have his day in court to prove that he had the right to have his gun when he was stopped by the police officer, the garbage police officer? Did Orlando Castile have his day in court? Did the police just give him a ticket and say, okay, you can be about your way, sir, but I'll see you in court? Excuse me, I had to get a little bit of water for my throat. Orlando Castile didn't have his day in court because the police officer took his life. And that's the truth.
Information is power.
All right, everybody. Let me show you something else. Once again, like I said before, the black male is a threat in this society. Whether we have a weapon on us or not, black males are killed 3 times in comparison to white males, whether we have a gun or we don't have a gun. Mainly, we're shot 3 times. We're 3 times likely to be shot by police when we're unarmed. Kyle Rittenhouse was able to walk through this community with a weapon in hand and was not stopped by the police. He was out there unsupervised by his own parents. And everybody, you notice it's kind of funny on YouTube how nobody has any smoke. Nobody has any smoke for the mama. And I'm about to make a point here, and I really don't give a damn, because I know there's people out there who are either going to agree with me or disagree with me on these YouTube streets, because this is the truth, and I'm bringing the smoke. God damn it! I'm going to bring the smoke. There has been no criticism of the mother or the father in terms of what is their responsibility of their child, their son being out there doing whatever he did. Like I said, I'm not sitting up here to eulogize the 3 men that he shot. That was white on white crime. And usually when black people engage in violence against other black people, the first thing the news says and everybody and their mama says is that that's black on black crime. Well, that was white on white crime, what Kyle Rittenhouse did that night. But the point I'm making is that nobody dragged his mother with the smoke. Had she been a black woman,
tell the truth,
y'all would have been saying all over YouTube and off of YouTube, where was the mama and the daddy? Well, check this out. On these YouTube streets, we often talk about the single black mother. Right? But guess what? Kyle Rittenhouse mother, his mama, was a single mother, a single white woman, raising kids single. Why is it that white women that are the single white mothers, when their sons or daughters get out there and do things unsupervised and maybe things that they're not supposed to be doing, that I don't hear anybody coming for the single white woman or the father. Where was the father at in Kenosha, since they said his daddy lived in Kenosha? Why haven't they gotten any criticism for their son being in the possession of a weapon and out there in a place where he was never asked by the owners of the business to be out there guarding their business in the first place? That's truth.
Tell the truth.
There's been no smoke for the mama. There's been no, we got to hold the white single mama accountable. That's what they're calling her, a white single mama. But we are so quick, if it's a black mama, to hold the black mama accountable when her son is out there in the streets late at night doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. You see the double standard? Let me show y'all a video real quick to emphasize what I'm talking about. This happened a couple of years ago and everybody jumped all over this black mama for doing what she did. Oh, everybody had a lot to say about her. But let's just do the compare and contrast here. Let's, for the sake of it all, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
New video shows what appears to be an angry, embarrassed mother taking out some frustration on her teenage son after discovering he was one of the troublemakers in Baltimore. Take a look. Well, you can hear the woman shout, "I know that's you," before she rips off the teenager's mask. This video, as you can imagine, is getting a lot of attention online. Baltimore's police commission even took notice.
And if you saw on one scene, you had one mother who grabbed their child who had a hood on his head, and she started smacking him on the head because she was so embarrassed. I wish I had more parents that took charge of the kids out there tonight.
All of this, of course, came just hours after the funeral of Freddie Gray, who died of severe spinal cord injury while in police custody. His family...
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
The reason why I played that video is because that was during the time when Freddie Gray was literally brutalized by the police in Baltimore with that nickel ride that they gave him. In Baltimore, they call it a nickel ride when they throw them in the back of that paddy wagon and they got you banging back and forth. And of course, it destroyed and did damage to his spine. But what happened is you had a mother who recognized her son, and she popped him upside his head, went upside his head. It was embarrassing for the young man. It was embarrassing. People thought it was an embarrassing situation. But what if her son would have killed somebody out there that day? What if he would have did something destructive where he went to prison? Then the same people that would have said, hey, you really hurt the young man's masculinity and his manhood. If he had did something, or let's say he got himself killed out there in those protests, or he got himself in some serious trouble with the law, then everybody would be saying, where is the single mama? Why she got her son out there getting himself in all kind of trouble? Huh? See, everybody would have flipped it around and said, see, once again, the young black male got himself in trouble out there protesting. He got himself in jail. He out there, he killed somebody, what have you, because he don't have a black male in the household, and because he's being raised by the single black mother. So now we got to blame the single black mother for her black child being out there. But on the flip side of that bullshit, the black mother grab a hold of her son, popped him upside his head. It didn't look good. I'm going to be honest. It didn't look good. I'm sure it embarrassed the young man in front of his peers. I'm sure it was an embarrassing moment. And I'm sure for some of us as men, we see it as, oh, she demasculized him. But at the same time, the mother took charge of the situation because she's the mother. She saw her son. So she took him off of those streets. because she didn't like what he was doing. Some of us may not like her approach and how she did it because it was an embarrassment for the son. And though, like I said, there are some of us who see it as demasculizing the young male, and that's the problem. But at the same time, what if he had did something that caused the life of people out there on them streets? How many of y'all would have flipped that shit around and said, this is because he comes from the single mother household? You see what I'm saying?
Tell the truth.
But when it comes to Kyle Rittenhouse, his mama, the single mama, nobody really had a lot of smoke for her. Nobody really had a lot of criticism for her. Didn't really hear a lot of that. We got here is that we back the blue. So here's Kyle Rittenhouse he wanted to be a police officer or fireman. There he is looking like a young cadet. And see, Kyle Rittenhouse, and people ain't gonna like what I say here, Kyle Rittenhouse is the type of dude that he would become a police officer, and he would be one of the type of dudes that would stop a black man or stop a young black kid and ask them where they're going. He would be the type of police officer that would stop a black man with a right to have a gun. See, this is how these police officers get their start. He's got everybody rallying around him. And I know the news said that, well, here you go. Now I want to show you this. And now they're trying to question it now. So they're saying that Kyle Rittenhouse went into a bar to have a drink with his family. And that you had members, they're saying, well, they're not members of the Proud Boys, but I believe they are, because on this one guy's shirt, he's got the black shirt with the yellow, and that's their damn colors. And on the picture, they got the 3% symbolism. Now, they'll tell you and me that the 3% symbolism represents guns rights. Don't let the government trample on your rights as a citizen and things of that nature. That's what they'll tell you, right? To pretty it all up. But kind of work I do, I already know that 3% is a symbolism that a lot of these militia and white supremacists and white nationalist groups rally around that symbol. And that's the symbol that you see right here with the finger. Let me let you see that closely right there. That symbol that they use is a symbol of their consolidarity with each other, that symbol of their white brotherhood together, which shrouds itself and hides itself in this notion of we're for guns rights, we're for not letting the government trample over you. This is just another shrouded symbolism of white nationalism, and then it's coupled with white men who join these groups like Proud Boys and the Boogaloo Boys, who have that frog symbol. If you ever see that frog symbol, that's what that is. It's the Boogaloo Boys. They shroud themselves around this whole notion that the government is going to take their guns, when the government has never taken their guns, but they have taken the guns. They have taken guns from black people. That is a fact. They have not taken guns from white folks. They take guns from black people when we're armed. And when we're armed, shit, they damn right get ready to shoot us dead. Now, let me show you something else. So here he is right here. They told everybody in the news that Kyle Rittenhouse went into this bar. He didn't know these people. They took the photos with him and they began putting up the 3% sign. They said that Kyle Rittenhouse didn't do this, but you can clearly see on this picture, he's got the symbol on his hands. Now, I'm not saying that Kyle knew these folks personally, but he engaged in it. Now, there's some people saying that that's not true. Kyle never put his hands up like that and did that. So it could be debated. But the fact of the matter is, these type of individuals are the ones that rallied around Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay? These are the kind of, now, that audio that I played for you, ladies and gentlemen, if you heard that audio in the beginning, part and partial of that audio in there was the protest in Kenosha at the courthouse where he was being tried. and you had these Trump members, these Proud Boy type members who were using the word, you black ass, get back. I want y'all to hear this again for the effect of it. I want you to zoom your ear on the part when they start talking the black stuff. Here it goes again.
Mike Flynn, Donald Trump, looking right here, baby. Look at her, take that mask off. Take that motherfucking mask off. Right here, represent. Represent. Looking right here, the Punisher. Represent. Steve Bannon is coming. We're going on offense. We're going on fucking offense. We're going on offense. Hey, Kyle Rittenhouse is a fucking patriot. Kyle Rittenhouse is a fucking patriot. Well, you freeloaders.
He says right there that Kyle Rittenhouse is a effing patriot. Continue listening.
Stand up, motherfucker. Fuck yeah. Come on. Come on. Get your ass back. Get your back. Get your ass back. Come on. Come on. You all are cowards. You all are cowards. Get your ass back. Get your black ass back. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You could clearly hear them saying, get your black ass back. So when you hear these folks talking about they not no racial group, they're not a white national group, they're just a group of concerned citizens. They're just a group of people who believe in keeping the Constitution and keeping America free and not having government intruding. No, they do believe in these type of attitudes. They have this kind of attitude. They believe in it. It is a part of their culture in these particular militia and white nationalist groups. And the FBI has already said that technically that the domestic white nationalist groups are the most dangerous in America right now, that they are the true enemy. And I did a video about this maybe a year or two ago, that white males in America could they be, and people don't like this, are white males the ones that are the danger to America? They tell me and you that it is black males that are the danger to America. They paint us as the face of criminality, but every time you turn around, it wasn't black people who went up to the January 6th building in droves and did what they did. They did what they did, and you know between me and you, ladies and gentlemen, that if that was a bunch of black people that went up there like that they would have been shot. And they would have been thrown under the prison. They teach us, they try to tell us that black males are the danger. Wow, let me put this up here for you, right here. This is a fact-finding thing that I have right here. At 17 years old, so Kyle Rittenhouse was not of age to be out there with a weapon. And check this out. Under the laws there, at 17 years old, Kyle Rittenhouse was perfectly legal. This is the truth. Kyle Rittenhouse was perfectly legal to be able to possess the rifle that he had, ladies and gentlemen, without parental supervision. The reason why I bring this up, ladies and gentlemen, because it's false. Because you got knuckleheads on YouTube, people on social media talking about, well, you know, he had the right perfectly to have that gun. He should have gotten the misdemeanor. Under the law, Kyle Rittenhouse did not, at 17 years old, did not have the legal ability to possess the rifle without parental supervision. That's false. So what I said earlier, let me correct myself here. So the way it looks in Wisconsin, you can have the right to bear, you can bear arms as a 17-year-old in the state of Wisconsin. Without parental provision, parental supervision is false. I'm going to read this again. At 17 years old, Kyle Rittenhouse was perfectly legal to be able to possess that rifle without parental supervision. It is false. You can possess a weapon in the state of Wisconsin, but you're supposed to have, I think I was right the whole time, you're supposed to have parental supervision. Being able to do it without parental supervision is false. So what I'm getting back to is that his mother or father not being out there when this happened, Kyle Rittenhouse, once again, to you naysayers out there, had no business being out there without the supervision of his mother or his father. He went out there trying to play a grown man's game when he was supposed to be a kid or a minor. He went out there doing grown man shit, got himself involved in a grown man circumstance. And now when he goes to court, they want to portray him as this innocent little kid, this innocent little boy, Kyle Rittenhouse, that was running for his life. Now, I'm not saying that if it was a black kid if a black kid was out there and he was protecting himself, I'm willing to be honest and say that there'd probably be a lot of black people that would be rocking with a black kid who was trying to protect himself with his gun. A lot of us would be saying, hey, they had no business taking his gun from him. It depends on who he's shooting. What if it was a black kid out there who shot 3 white boys, shot 2 dead and 1 injured? Woo! What would the case be then, ladies and gentlemen? Or if he shot 3 black dudes, 2 dead and 1 dead, would it be a different ideology? Because in America, when it comes to black people and homicide rates, America has come to be desensitized to when you have crime where you have black people who kill other black people. I think sometimes even us as black people are becoming desensitized to it. But had it been a black young man who shot 3 white boys, it would have been a different story. Any of you in the chat room, if you believe that if Kyle Rittenhouse was black and he shot 3 white boys, 3 white dudes, would he had won the case? Would they had given him the same rights under the law? Or what they would have did, what they did to Trayvon Martin, and start talking about he smoked weed and he got a criminal record and he did this and he did that. What do you think, folks? Do a vote in the chat room. If you think that if it was a black young male, 17, 16 years old, that shot 3 white boys with his rifle under their laws, would he had gotten away? Would he have been acquitted of all charges? If you believe so, if you say you don't believe that would have happened, that he would have been acquitted, put a 1 in the chat room. Yeah, get those trolls out of here. The reason why I've got this up here like that is because if this was a black mother or a black father, you would have a whole lot of people talking about what's wrong with the black mother. She was supposed to be out there to supervise the black boy who shot those 3 white folks or shot those 3 blacks. And the father, where's the father at? Everybody would be saying that right now. These are things that are, these are facts. These are truths. Let me show you something else, folks. This is how the difference between how white and black or black young men are looked at in the court of law versus black young men. Let me read this to you. This is from a study that they did, ladies and gentlemen. Black boys are, this is an article, black boys are viewed as older and less innocent than whites. Research finds police likely to use force against black children when officers dehumanize black studies says this. Washington black boy, this is Washington. Washington black boys as young as 10 may not be viewed in the same light of childhood innocence as their white peers, but are instead are more likely to be mistaken as older and be perceived as guilty. Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't perceived as guilty. He was perceived as innocent, and he had the judge who had his back, as perceived as guilty and face police violence if accused of a crime according to a new study research published by the American Psychological Association. So if you go to the American Psychological Association, this study came out in 2014. It's still relevant today because I've seen articles of today's time that reinforce this. It is titled "Black Boys Viewed as Older, Less Innocent Than Whites. Research Finds This." So what I'm trying to say in a nutshell, when you look at this picture here of these young black males are aged. We are seen as criminals. We are seen as up to no good. And as I told you about the experience I had in a psychology class in college, where they've done studies like this to see how people have these perceptions that are based in stereotypes and how they see different people and how they see black young men. Remember, that jury was a jury of Kyle Rittenhouse own peers. There was 11, all white jury with one person of color, maybe one black person. We don't even know because the judge in the case didn't really want people to know what the race is. But Kyle Rittenhouse had a jury just like what's happening in the Ahmaud Arbery case. Same thing in the Ahmaud Arbery case, where they've got mostly 11 jurors that are white, maybe one person of racial background as the 12th jury member. Just like in the Ahmaud Arbery case, they got a skewed jury pool of people who don't even look and reflect Ahmaud Arbery. Same thing in the Kyle Rittenhouse. He has a jury that reflects his likeness, his ideology, maybe. I don't know what's in all their minds, but the jury was definitely stacked on his side. And then what he did to put more mustard and bread on the mustard, I'm going to show you this video I have, I'm going to say this: peace and love to Golden Melanin, Courtney SLP, Kiki05, King Wage, Gloria Murray is in the house. Thank you all for being here again. Lady Leg 75 is in the house. King Wage, and who else did I miss? Stevie, Warwick is in the house. Kingman is in the house. It's a divide and conquer, brother. It's a divide and conquer. Big L saying facts. We got my brother Keith. Keith is in the house. Those good boys and girls trolls are really showing up tonight. Yeah, and if when they show up, you just show them out of this goddamn place. That's what you do.
Tell the truth.
If the trolls come in, you just show them right on out of here. Simple as that. We got just everybody that's out there. I really appreciate you coming in tonight. Really appreciate everybody's good words tonight in the chat room. You're rocking with me. I'm rocking with you. But what I got to do is show you something. I don't know how many of y'all in the chat room by press of one believe that his crying in the courtroom was sincere. Let me play this when he had his breakdown in the courtroom, just as a reminder to everybody the situation. And here we go.
Notice the Duramax. I noticed a flame in the back seat of the Duramax, and I stepped towards the Duramax, and as I'm stepping forward, I believe his name is now Joshua Zeminski. He steps towards me with a pistol in his hand, and as I'm walking towards to put out the fire, I drop the fire extinguisher and I take a step back.
Okay. When you step back from Mr. Zeminski, what's your plan?
My plan is to get out of that situation and go back north down Sheridan Road to where the car source lot number 2 was.
And did you get back? Were you able to go in a northerly direction?
I wasn't.
Describe what happens.
Once I take that step back, I look over my shoulder, and Mr. Rosenbaum was now running from my right side, and I was cornered from in front of me with Mr. Zeminski, and there were people right there.
Take a deep breath, Kyle.
That's what I. That's what I run.
We're going to just take time for our break anyway. You can just relax for a minute, sir. We're going to take a break about 10 minutes, and please don't talk about the case during the break. Read, watch, or listen to any conference call.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel. You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Okay, so therefore, you see Kyle Rittenhouse. I believe personally that he put a little bit of extra mustard on the sandwich, if you know what I mean, to play to the emotions of the jury, which really reflected him. The jury was definitely truly a jury of his own peers. And I think it led up to this situation that we all witnessed today with them acquitting him of all charges. And let's play that video right now, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go.
H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read? Would you wish the jury polled?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, folks, your job is done, and we started just about 3 weeks ago. And I told you it could last 2 weeks and 2 days. This is 2 weeks. This is 3 weeks. You were a wonderful jury to work with. You were punctual. You were attentive. And the forgotten six over here who had a very difficult job of keeping from discussing the case during the time that they were sequestered as well. All of you, I couldn't have asked for a better jury to work with. And it has truly been my pleasure. I think, without commenting on your the verdicts themselves, just in terms of your the attentiveness and the cooperation that you gave to us, justifies the confidence that the founders of our country placed in you.
Now I want to stop it right there because I thought it was interesting when the judge talked about you showed the confidence that our founders placed in you. And who were those founders? Those were founders who were wig-wearing slave owners, and they oppressed black people in this country. I believe George Washington, who they said had wooden teeth. No, George Washington would take the teeth of his slaves, black people, and get them pulled out of their mouth to put their teeth in his mouth because he had bad dental work. That's the type of founders that you have of this country, those that would do brutal things to our people and our ancestors. And they're the ones who wrote the laws in this country primarily to benefit white males, just like Kyle Rittenhouse.
Tell the truth.
So, and Kyle didn't even have to give you crocodile tears. He didn't even have to go through all of that because he was going to get the benefit of the doubt. He was going to get the privilege. Matter of fact, if you followed the trial, you even had the defense lawyers use the word privilege. They used the word that Kyle had the privilege that night.
Tell the truth.
Oh, how many of y'all heard that in the trial? If you heard that, put a 1 in the chat room right now.
Tell the truth.
How many of you in the chat room heard that if you followed any part of this case? How many of you heard that in the trial? I heard that with my own ears. I'm not lying to you. At one moment when they were making their case for Kyle, they said he had the privilege that night. And y'all wondering why I said Kyle Rittenhouse got the damn privilege.
Tell the truth.
In the benefit of thou doubt. Kyle Rittenhouse legally had no right to be out there on those streets that night with a firearm, with no parental supervision from his family. Kyle Rittenhouse had no right to be out there no more than the protesters and even the dudes that he shot. And I'm not here to make any, the dudes that he shot had some bad background. I'm not here to make martyrs of them. I'm not here to cape for the guys that he shot, the two that he killed. I know that they had not great, their backgrounds were not good. One of them may have done some things with underage, and I'm gonna leave it at that. So I'm not caping for people who engage in that type of behavior towards the youth. Oh no, I'm not caping for people like that. That's not even where my program is going tonight. I'm looking at the comparison and contrast, ladies and gentlemen, of how justice is given out if you're black versus whether you're white, and how the perception of white boys versus black boys, and how there's a perception of how we're looked at as black males and when we are youth, compared to how white boys are looked at when they are youth. They are given the benefit of the doubt. They are given the privilege, and Kyle Rittenhouse got the privilege in this courtroom because he had people who looked like him, and not to mention the fact that he had a judge that seemed to be on his side and would not let in video that they had the ability to enhance to let you kind of see what was happening on the ground. The judge wouldn't do that. The judge was totally out of his element of knowing what the hell he was doing. And then, of course, the judge made that stereotypical statement about the Chinese food. Remember that one? That was crazy. So they got some goofy stuff going on in Kenosha. Then you got people out there protesting out there, taking their cameras out there, all out there with that clown show that was going on out there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just be honest here. How many of you in the chat room, by pushing the one button, all along you knew or you felt that Kyle was going to get off on all counts like he did today? If you believe he was going to get off on all counts, put a 1 in the chat room. If you already had it in your mind that, hey, he going to get off on this one. Oh, he going to get off. Once I personally could see how the judge was running the courtroom, and the prosecution did a horrible job. Let's just be honest about it. The prosecution did a horrible job, and the defense team did a better job of presenting their case. And let's just keep it real. Kyle Rittenhouse had a lot of people who paid for his bail money. You had people in the government. You had the Republican Party. You had the Proud Boys. You had all the militias and the white nationalist groups and all the to the far right, white ring, Republican clan who put all kind of money in there for
Tell the
him
truth.
and gave him a big treasure trove of money to get the best defense team that he could get. And it worked. The state ran a poor and inefficient case. They bullshitted around. And for that reason, because they ran a poor case, Kyle Rittenhouse had a better defense case on his side. Plus, he had a jury of his own peers. Plus, he broke down and started crying in the courtroom to get the sympathy and empathy of those on the jury and in the public appeal out there. Oh, it was a fabulous job. They played a perfect piano on their asses. They did.
Tell the truth.
Let me read that. Joy says, it was given he would never be prosecuted as he should have been. Trump made them aware of that. She says, one Conscious TV comes in and he says he piled green-eyed with a baby face that made every other white person during the trial see their own, son in him. It was a perfect display of racial bias. This is ethnic groups need to try their own. Ethnic groups need to try their own. Interesting. If we were all in a Native American sovereign nation tribe, then when it comes to Native American culture and their tribes, they take care of their own. When it comes to crime within their community, they police it themselves and you go under their trial. So Conscious TV has a good point that he's making there. Thank you for coming on through and making those statements. Chris CC says, I agree. Golden Melanin says, and they know he was going. This is what I'm going to do. Let me pull some of your thoughts up on my screen here. Give me just 1 minute and see what people are saying. And here we go. All right. We got she. They are protected at all costs, but we aren't simple. Right. I agree with that. And man, let me see here. I don't know what that's about. DOD is in the house. Frugal me too. What's going on, DOD? And then we got I lost hope in the system a long time ago, according to King Wage. He lost hope in the system a long time ago. We got the wellness with Fugo Mama saying, I thought he would get off on the murder, but not the gun charges. It appeared to be self-defense on the video, although his little butt never should have been there. Yeah, they got him on. He got off on self-defense because of the defense team ran a good trial. There was bias by the courtroom because you had a judge who acted like he was on the payroll or something. I don't know. Who seemed to not want to let any evidence in that would make Kyle look bad and didn't seem to want them to look at the fact that he should never have had that gun out there in the first place. We got Miss Jammin who says, and that is the one we don't do for our own. Yeah, we need to police ourselves instead of letting other people police us. The judge definitely protected his chubby cheeks. Good old boy. Interesting. DOD, let me see. Joy says 11 white jurors and one non-white jury was a predicted for him to, it was precedence for him to be acquitted. Yeah, the jury was not balanced at all. You're right about that. I agree, Kiki. Let me see who else we got in here. We got the number one grinder in the house. He says, he says, it does not surprise me. That's what the number one grinder says. Peace to everybody. And the one, you put something, I got a chap, my lips are getting chapped a little bit here. Okay, we've got love to travel with Wave. She says, when will this stop? Yeah, sister, when will it stop? Telling the truth.
Tell the truth.
And then we got Joy who says they made Kyle look like an innocent angel. That's right. That's right. And the crying that he did actually benefited his whole situation. We've got Judge probably gonna Rittenhouse and mom for the holidays. Hey, man, anything's possible. Let me see here. Courtney, the SLP, says the judge was acting like his grandfather the whole time. He withheld exculpatory information. Yeah, information. He sung to Kyle. Yeah, he sang to Kyle, killed Kyle, and let him pick his own jury. The killer Kyle was able to pick his own jury. Okay. The Creed man, how he says, how the hell are the police so scared of a knife with Jacob Blake and not scared of an AR-15? Right. Jacob Blake got shot 7 times in the back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for saying that. Remember that? He got shot 7 times in the back. That's what started the whole protest out there. Kyle Rittenhouse goes out there and does what he does. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not caping for these guys that have this criminal background themselves. What I'm saying is he did what he did. He walked down the street with the gun in hand, even tried to give himself up. I'm going to be honest, tried to give himself up to the police by putting his hands up, and they just drove right past him. And earlier when they were out there that same night, as I said earlier in this video, the police said, thank you for being here, and gave them beverages, water. And let me say this brother right here gave me a super chat, not once, but twice. And I got to read. We got the Hood Haitian 305 who gave me a super chat earlier. So what I want to do is say, thank you for that super chat, brother.
Thank you for the super chat.
And I want to read what he has to say. And I'm sorry I missed the other super chat that you gave me. He says, first time I've ever seen black people make Caucasians on Caucasian crime ratio. Let's put the same energy towards the young dolphin, yeah, the dolphin, the murder, yeah, the whole murder. And I'm probably going to do a story about that too, about that rapper. And I got to get in contact with Brother Sanchez because I think he wants to do a collaboration with me around that issue. But that's an issue I want to deal with too. You know, we got to stop killing each other in these communities. We got to stop. We got these rappers out here that still want to drill, and they're going around killing other black men. That's a damn shame too. Oh no.
Tell the truth.
I'm not denying that, brother. Oh no. We need to hold each other accountable for our effery that we engage in as well. Oh no. No. No, we have to hold each other accountable when we're doing some goofed up stuff out here too. Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. I agree. Without question, the judge made sure his good old boy Kyle would not be found guilty. You might have to put him up crying like that too. Interesting. Let me see what Purple Paisley says. She says that was so sad about the rapper. Yeah, what happened to the rapper is bad, but we got these guys that go into rap music who's supposed to be changing their life, and they still want to have one foot in the streets while they got one foot in entertainment. You can't serve two gods. You got to decide what you want to do. Do you want to be an entertainer or do you want to be this thug? A lot of these guys, they want to live both lifestyles, and you get caught up. And then the question is, when you become successful as a black man and a black woman, should we still be living in the hood? Oh, wait a minute. I got to stop. Oh, we got to get into that. We got to get into that. That's going to be another video. We got Steve Warwick says this rigged trial is setting a precedence. It will only further embolden white supremacists to do shit like that. Like that. Okay. We got Miss Charlotte Jones, who says, bottom line, what's going on, Miss Charlotte Jones? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the family. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. We got Sister Brown Girl, who's in the house, saying, tell them, Information Man, you cannot serve two masters. Yeah, you cannot serve two masters. And too often, we got black people in our community, black men and women who gain success in music or entertainment. And you know what I noticed? And maybe I should say this for the show about this. You notice when black people go into R&B, jazz, rhythm and blues, and gospel music, ain't nobody shooting themselves. It only seems to be happening in rap music today with all this drill and mumble rap and all this back and forth. You don't see this. You don't see Smokey Robinson going after, Maxwell or somebody. I'm going to shoot you. This don't be, if you are an I'm going to tell it straight up. If you are a blues singer, an R&B singer, jazz musician, jazz singer, Brian McKnight or somebody like that, you ain't got to worry about nobody coming up on you and shooting you. But when you live in this rap lifestyle where it's all about drilling and you a gangster, these guys are shooting themselves. It's ridiculous. It's goofy. It's boys trying to be men. It's boys in men's body who have no understanding of what it is to be a man or have no respect or love for their own kind. It's a self-hate issue. But I bet you with Kyle Rittenhouse killing 3 white men, you probably won't have anybody in the white community say that, hey, this is white self-hate, white man killing white men. You won't have anybody say that in the white community. They won't call it out like that. And it ain't their responsibility. It ain't my responsibility to tell them what they should be doing any damn way. It's our responsibility as a people to police each other before we allow their system to get their hands on us. King Way says, and can't complete a sentence. Yeah, can't even complete a sentence. They rapping and talking like they got marbles in their mouth. I mean, marbles in their mouth. She says, hood black people lack certain things. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do a show about this. Maybe on Sunday. Let me see. Here we go. We got Conscious TV who says this. Because hip hop and rap fosters egotism. Yep. Egotistic minds and narcissistic personalities as well. Conscious TV. And egotism leads to destruction and spiritually and oftentimes physically. Yeah, it plays itself out mentally, brother. You're right. Right? The ego, the fragile ego that we have sometimes, right? And that ego makes you say, I got to show I'm a man. I got to show that I'm in control. And it plays itself out, or it manifests itself in the physical of you going out there shooting and killing someone and doing some mischief. You're damn Skippy right.
Tell the truth.
Chris CC has just super chatted me. She says, Infoman, you did a great job tonight with the topics. Salute to you. And you gave great test. Thank you. Great taste. Thank you.
Thank you for the super
Thank you for the super chat, sister. I appreciate that. Chris CC, you're the best. Thank you. And we got Sister Murray who says the music industry puts a lot of money to make sure those topics of type of rappers, right? Or in that type of image, right? So what I'm going to do on Sunday, I'm going to go live on Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to touch on that issue on Sunday, okay? We're going to get into that issue. I'm going to get in contact with Brother Sanchez, and we're gonna build with Brother Sanchez about this issue, and bring him right on over here. He's got a huge channel, so if I bring Sanchez over here, we're probably going to have a large showing on the channel this Sunday. And we're gonna see if we can make it happen. Jackie is just coming in the house. I appreciate you coming over. And Conscious TV, brother, keep pushing out that content and keep pushing out the truth. Jackie says, you are correct. Everybody's agreeing with everybody in the chat room, and I'm enjoying this. Let me see this right here. We have healthy, heavenly favored, can't write a sentence either. Right. And so that's what I'm saying. We got to be accountable for the things, the goofy stuff that we do too, right? Kyle Rittenhouse is not ours. Kyle Rittenhouse belongs to white society, and white society is going to do what they're going to do with him. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to Kyle Rittenhouse, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to get rich. He's going to be on Fox propaganda news. Okay. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. He going to be on Fox Propaganda News. He going to have a radio show or something. He's already been invited to be part of a broadcast. He's going the Proud Boys and the Boogaloo Boys, they're going to all rally around him because he now has become their symbol. Just like the symbol when beginning of this live stream, I showed you that thumbnail that I put up. And thank you for the super sticker. Super Adrian Williams, $10. Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that so very much.
Thank you for the super
and
chat.
Why I'm at it, it's time for the super chat music and celebration because everybody has been blessing me tonight. And here we go.
Time to run it all. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up. Flex. Thumb down now. Check. No drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. I wake up. Flex. Thumb down now. Check. No drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands. I'm by my lonely.
Tell the truth.
Turn to a savage. Now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans. Don't need no friends. I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell 'em run it all, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell 'em run it all. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell 'em run it all, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell 'em run it all. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself, they getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name.
Definitely, thank you tonight. I really appreciate it. The super chats, the super stickers. I appreciate people coming in and giving incredible commentary in the chat room. I've had a chance to read some of the commentary. I'm looking at my phone, my computers. I'm putting stuff on the board here. And let's go at it again before I end. Let's see what other people are saying because this is fantastic. Let me thank Purple Paisley. Sister Murray is in the house. Peggy Roster's just come in. I appreciate her coming over and listening to the program tonight. Chris CC, King Wage, I Am She, great stream. Really appreciate that, Purple Paisley. And we got a lot of content creators in here, so definitely check each other out. Now, before I end tonight, I gotta do this because it's a double standard here, as we said before. Now, while Kyle Rittenhouse has a lawyer that's is helping him out, while Kyle Rittenhouse is being given every benefit of the doubt, and you go over here and you look at the Ahmaud Arbery case, and I did a video last week on that, and you see how in that case, same thing, you got a jury that does not represent Ahmaud Arbery. It's the same damn thing as in Kenosha, where you got 11 white jury, maybe one person of color, and I don't like that word at all, in that case. And remember what went on not too long ago about them having their concerns about, we don't want no black pastors in the church. We don't want no black pastors in the church. This is how black people, ladies and gentlemen, and I thank you all for listening. This is how black people get treated when we're in court and we're fighting for our lives. And most of the times when we're not alive because we've been killed and shot, and our family members are trying to fight for us and trying to represent us. And here a situation where, check this out once again.
I was reminded of one matter that I wanted to address. My understanding while I was cross-examining Investigator Lowry yesterday is that the Right Reverend Al Sharpton managed to find his way into the back of the courtroom. I'm guessing he was somehow there at the invitation of the victim's family in this case. And I have nothing personally against Mr. Sharpton. My concern is that it's one thing for the family to be present. It's another thing to ask for the lawyers to be present. But if we're going to start a precedent, starting yesterday, we're going to bring high-profile members of the African-American community into the courtroom to sit with the family during the trial in the presence of the jury, I believe that's intimidating, and it's an attempt to pressure, could be consciously or unconsciously, an attempt to pressure or influence the jury. To my knowledge, Reverend Al Sharpton has no church in Glenn County, never hasn't been here since Elaine Brown ran for mayor, to my knowledge. But we have all kinds of people. We have school board members. We have county commissioners. We have all kinds of pastors in this town, over 100. The idea that we're going to be serially bringing these people in to sit with the victim's family one after another, obviously there's only so many pastors they can have. And if their pastor's Al Sharpton right now, that's fine, but then that's it. We don't want any more black pastors coming in here, or other Jesse Jackson, whoever was in here earlier this week, sitting with the victim's family, trying to influence a jury in this case. And I'm not saying the state is even aware that Mr. Sharpton was in the courtroom. I certainly wasn't aware of it till last night. But I think the court can understand my concern about bringing people in who really don't have any ties to this case other than political interests. And we want to keep politics out of this case. So I'm asking the court to take appropriate steps to make sure that the gallery, which is already limited in this case, isn't being utilized for a purpose that could be viewed as improper. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other defendants?
We were doing that motion. I don't know if it's a motion. What is the motion? It's not really a motion.
Tell the truth.
Peace. Let's go back in the chat before I end the night and see what other folks are saying. So you see right there in the case of Ahmaud Arbery, his family can't even have the comfort of the pastor. And we know that the preacher, the pastor, they have always been a part of the black community, whether you like pastors or not. They have been a part of our black community. And in that case where those yahoos killed an unarmed black man jogging in the neighborhood, that they're trying to blame all the neighborhood's ills on him jogging, as if he didn't stole everything in the neighborhood when he hasn't. And you know what they did in the Ahmaud Arbery case is they tried to dirty him up and talk about, well, you know, he was on probation. He was on. Look, the bottom line is on that day in question when they killed him, he wasn't committing any crime. He was trying to protect himself, and they shot him like an animal. Travis McMichael, Gregory McMichael, the three stooges. And then they have the audacity, their defense lawyer, doing what a defense lawyer has to do, by the way, tries to talk about, we don't want no black pastors in here. You see how we get treated when we're in a courtroom fighting for justice, whether we are alive or our families have to fight for us. They start dirtying us up. They did the same thing to Trayvon Martin when Zinneman killed him with a gun. Trayvon Martin gets no justice. They try to dirty up his image. Kyle Rittenhouse, he goes out there, he shoots 3 white folks. And that ain't even my point tonight. My point is that if you're white and you have guns and you have arms and you have all these things in these type of states, the law is going to work in your favor. I don't think it's going to work in black people's favor, because it really has not. When we get armed up, the police are ready to shoot us or ready to take our arms away from us. White folks get real, people get real scared. White folks get real scared seeing us marching down the street with weapons, even if we have a right to have those weapons. Truth.
Tell the truth.
We got Lady T speaks. See what she's saying here. Nothing but the devil. The pastor was there to support the family. That's all. Correcto Mendo. I thought the courtroom was a place for public. Right. The courtroom is public. So whether it's Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton or any of these guys, they have every right to be there because the courtroom is public. They were just trying to create an atmosphere to create a mistrial for those three stooges. That's the truth. Joy, I'm definitely supporting what's in the best interest of the people. I love my black skin. That's fantastic. That's fantastic, brother. We got Lady Net who's coming in the house saying hello to everyone. Thank you for being here. Lady Net, clap to you. All the mods in there, everybody's doing a great job. And then let me go ahead and see who I might have missed by looking at here. We got Golden Melon who says, and he can say that confidently because he knows that they have his back. Such a, such ignorance. Yeah, it's arrogance, such arrogance as you're saying. Yes, it is arrogance, my sister. It is 100% arrogance. And so let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to come to a conclusion tonight. I want to thank you all for coming over to watch the program tonight. I think I'll come back live on Sunday. And I'm going to try to see if I can get Brother Sanchez on so that we can delve into this issue around the rapper's, this man's death. And this is something that this seems to be a continuing pattern in which we have these hip hop artists who are getting killed in the streets like this. And you got to be careful, ladies and gentlemen. You reap what you sow. What you put out into the universe, into the atmosphere, is what you're going to get back. So if you out there doing all kind of treacherous stuff, it's going to come back to you in one way or another. We got Brother Keith, who's just super chatted me. He says, brother, information man. Let me see if I can put his message up on the board here. Let me see if I can do that. Maybe I missed it somewhere. I don't know where I might have missed it, but I got it right here. Brother Keith said this, Information Man Show, as long as you have the complexion, you'll be all right with protection. Tell the truth. That's right. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
And thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that again, brother, and everybody out there. Let me click out of this real quick. And before I go, I want to make sure I did not leave anything unturned here, that I did not miss out on anything that I wanted to present to you here at all. And I believe I've presented everything that I have in. And I guarantee you're going to see statues like this. They're going to try to make trophies or monument. They're going to try to make some type of celebration of Kyle, as you see on this right here, an image of him being down on his knees like that. He's going to be celebrated by the right wing, the Donald Trump's, the Colt 45 followers. He's going to be celebrated by the Fox News, every other right wing conservative talk show host, every other Fox, every other buck dancing, cornbread eating, butter biscuit eating Negro out there who's going to coon for this whole bull, for this. He's going to be celebrated by all these types out there. And I got a super chat from Sister Murray saying, collecting on all debts and facts. Thank you, sister, for super chat. But I just wanted to put that back up there to let you see what I'm talking about. They're gonna glorify this dude. They're gonna make him their poster child. They're gonna the NRA is gonna make him a poster child for gun rights. This also is gonna embolden people who are pushing the whole narrative about gun rights, which I believe we should have gun rights, right? But it's going to embolden people who believe that they're going to take our guns away from us because of Kyle, right? So it's going to embolden the gun rights folks. It's going to embolden the people out there that are members of these white nationalist groups. It's going to embolden the Trump supporters. I guarantee you he's going to meet with Trump. Trump's going to glorify him. Trump's going to have him meet with him. I guarantee you when we have another presidential election, when the Republicans have their Republican convention and Donald Trump is going to be their nominee in 2024, oh, I guarantee you Kyle Rittenhouse is going to be at the Republican convention. They're going to bring him out on the floor. People are going to clap for him. That's our boy, right? The white folks are going to do what they're supposed to do, which is they're supposed to put their boy, their image, their likeness, and their entitlement to their privilege on front damn stage, and they're going to do it.
Tell the truth.
They're going to do it. They're going to do it. And that's the fact. And it ain't about hating on that, because that's what you're supposed to do as a group. You're supposed to support your own, have your own back. So I want to say thank you for the super chats out there. Everybody in the chat room. We got Be the Difference Clothing who's just come in. I know people have come in and out of the chat, but that's okay, because I know everybody's watching different folks all over the place on YouTube tonight. But I want to just thank you all for being here, for supporting the channel. This is my analysis of the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. Once again, I'm not caping for those that he took out. Look, the bottom line is nobody should be running around shooting anybody, but Kyle Rittenhouse was out there. They were chasing him around with a weapon and they got shot. The bottom line is you should never chase somebody around that has a weapon, because you know why? You just might get shot.
Tell the truth.
So that's the common sense you got to use. Nobody really should have been out there that night, including Kyle Rittenhouse. If there's a curfew, the curfew applied to him just like it applied to everyone else that was out there doing what they were doing that night. So this is my analysis on the situation. I appreciate all of you out there for showing up tonight. Excuse me. Do me the biggest favor. Share this video in all of your social media, your Facebook, your Twitch, your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook groups that you're a member of, your community tab on YouTube. Share the video. This video needs to get views. It needs to be pushed to the YouTube algorithms, because I'm giving a analysis of the situation, and it's a comparison and contrast. In America, if you are a black young male, you do not get the benefit of the doubt. That is a fact, because we have too many real life situations in which young black males do not get the benefit of the doubt. We are deemed as animals. We are deemed as criminals from the moment we open up our mouth and walk out the damn door. The moment our black skin is shown out there in the world. That's why Trayvon Martin was killed by George Zimmerman. That's why Michael Brown could be shot when his hands was up and the cop didn't give a damn. That's why Orlando Castillo could be shot when he told the police officer that he had a weapon in the car, but he had a license for that weapon, and he also wanted to show his license to the officer, and he gets shot and killed. Okay, Kyle Rittenhouse. Let me do this again as a reminder before I end this. As I end this very soon, this is a reminder to everybody. And this reminder is this: it is legal for all adults unless they are prohibited from possession of a firearm. In Wisconsin, state law 94860-2A states any person under 18 years of age who possesses or goes armed with a dangerous weapon is guilty of a Class A misdemeanor, and he didn't even get a Class A misdemeanor. Guess what? He got no charges because he got off on all 5 charges. As another reminder, let me put something as another reminder to you, as I put up earlier, and I'm going to put this up alongside this. At 17 years old, Kyle Rittenhouse was perfectly legal to be able to possess that rifle without parental supervision. That's false. It was not legal in the state of Wisconsin for him to possess that weapon at 17 years old without any parental guidance from his parents. Okay. And the men that he was running around with out there, they weren't his damn parents. Okay. Once again, as a reminder to you all, when black people arm up, America gets scared. When black people take arms within our right, in our Second Amendment rights, America gets very scared. They get very concerned. If you are white, you can bear arms and nobody has a problem with it because you're white, you're right, you're supposed to have it like that. You're supposed to be in charge. If you're black and you have weapons under the law, you have to be neutralized. You have to be stopped. Henceforth, they had to neutralize the Black Panther Party, mainly because of what they were doing for the community in terms of service, food programs, health programs, not just the militancy, but they had to be infiltrated. They had to be eliminated. That's truth. That's a damn shame, but it's the truth that I tell you.
Tell the truth.
As another reminder again, for those who came in late, black boys are viewed as older, less innocent than their white counterparts. Research finds it. And that's in the American Psychological Association. You can check that article out. I broke that down earlier tonight. And there's a difference in how black boys are seen compared to white boys. It's a damn shame in white society. And then as another reminder before I leave here, the family that owned the Kenosha dealership says that they never asked Kyle Rittenhouse or his band of merry friends with guns. They never asked him to watch over their business as he was trying to portray himself as doing in this situation. Make sure you subscribe to the show, hit the bell notification, because I definitely would appreciate that. Let's get back to it right here. Everybody, thank you. Have a great night. We're going to get on out of here. I appreciate everybody. Share the video. Hopefully, if all goes well, I'll be back on Sunday. And I'm thinking about doing the story or the topic that we just were talking about, intertwined with this topic not too long ago. Everybody in there, peace to you. Bless you. We got CC NTV, who's just come in the house. Be the Difference Clothing, Joy, Golden Melanin, Chris CC. Let me see who else is here. I know people have dropped off. Brown Girls in the house. Sister Murray. Everybody that's come over. I know it's been a long night for everybody. I'll see you around the YouTube streets. Take care and peace.
Tell the truth.
Peace.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Told you so extra, but I know I'm the same. Love me in spite of my trauma. Give me what I need instead of the drama. Cause when it pop off, it's like, oh my, all good all day, but the night we be going so hard on the flip side. So tell me that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that wave, tryna control our emotions. If we on a right side of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead, but we could go all night. Now all of my calls go to voicemail. I block you so I don't raise hell. Should've talked through it in detail. Our separate ways ain't gon' end well, no. But when we get back, it's like, oh my. All bad all day, but the night time get that good till we act right. So tell me what we on today, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too.
Tell the truth.
But you'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that wave, tryna control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead. We could go all night.
I'm cooking it, but you pushing on my nerves. And I'm knowing your intention, I'm under pressure. Okay, I'm admitting that a couple things I said got acidic in the tone. In the presence, I get careless. Long as you know I come with imperfections. When you look at me, you see the soul through my flesh. You something special. Know you looking bomb, the way you dress it, gone flex it, hold it still and let my mind digest. You got the leverage, you got the upper handle on the situation. You worthy of a million more of the storms that we weather. We fight retreating this, but you trying to kill the cycle. When nobody's stressing that body like me, I know the way you like it. I treat you like a queen, run the castle, you a treasure. Feel like you setting fire to my desire for the pleasure. You a gem, got me blameless, make amends, know you can, I'm out here.
Trying to control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we can share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could go all night. We could go all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead. We could go all night.
Tell the truth. You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
You don't mean nothing to me. E-boys like you every dinner. I don't believe what you preach. You're just a rookie beginner. Hang out with boys in the street. Like that will make you a winner. I don't believe what I see. Are you wearing gold? You're nothing more than silverware. Thinking you're so bold, but all you are is unaware. Everything belongs to you. Talk to me like I'm a young, stupid fool. Take off all your clothes. You're nothing more than silverware. Why you calling me honey? Why you show off your money? Wave it like it's a tissue. Baby, this is your issue. I'm not falling for bullshit. If you like me, then say it. You don't get that I see through this facade that surrounds you. Growing up takes time, so don't you waste mine. You and me ain't right. Are you wearing gold? You're nothing more than silverware. Thinking you're so bold, but all you are is unaware. Walk around like everything belongs to you. Talk to me like I'm a young, stupid fool. Take off all your clothes. You're nothing more than silverware.
Information Man, please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
You're listening to the Information Man Show. Good night.